Thanks, guys. Right now we have a very special guest. She's a local artist from Needham, but she's at Washington University in St. Louis right now. And she's agreed to talk with us about some of her artwork. So right now we have Alix Marson on the line. Hi, Alix.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Tell me a little bit about why you were inspired to be an artist.
Well, I've liked to draw ever since I can remember, actually. My mom loves art, and she put me into drawing and painting classes when I was really, really young, and I just took a liking to it. It was always my favorite class in high school, and when I got into the art program at WashU, I just knew that that was what I wanted to do.
So what exactly is your major at Washington University?
It's communication design, which has two tracks. One is graphic design and one is illustration. And we're supposed to pick a track after our first year. So I've decided to do illustration because of my love for drawing and image creating.
So what is your favorite utensil to draw with? Do you like chalk or paint? What do you like to do?
I used to draw a lot in ink, and recently I've started drawing a lot with pens, micron pens. Um, they're really great, and I end up doodling a ton with them, and then it ends up being a lot of my art.
Very cool. Well, one of my favorite pieces of yours was What's for Lunch? So can you tell me about how you got inspired to do that piece?
That piece was actually my final project for the end of my freshman year for my drawing class, which our core drawing classes are very intense. And it was completely open. They were like, my teacher said that we could draw literally whatever we wanted. And for some reason, it just popped into my head one day that I wanted to draw a giant stacked sandwich. So actually, I went home. We had winter break, I believe, or fall break, and I created the sandwich in my basement, and it was disgusting, and it smelled really bad, but I photographed it, and I ended up making a 4-foot tall drawing out of it, which was, I'm not sure why I wanted to do it, but I just knew that I really wanted to.
Wow, so you actually created the sandwich in real life before you drew it?
Yeah, my parents weren't too pleased. But
you didn't eat it after, right?
definitely not.
Okay, that's good.
There were some inedible things in there.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. It's not really your average sandwich. So what are some of the things that you incorporated into it?
Well, the idea behind it was I wanted to give it a greater meaning than just being a large sandwich, which is also cool, but I had been reading about all of the hidden ingredients in the foods that we eat that we don't know about, like mostly processed foods, like how much corn is in everything, and a lot of it was kind of just blowing my mind. So I decided to make this drawing about all of the secret ingredients that could be harmful that are in the food we eat every day. So some of the ingredients that are in our food that we don't know about are also in things like lighters, like lighter fluid, and various things like that that you would never want the ingredients to cross over between those things in your food. So to spread awareness, I put those kinds of things in the sandwich.
That's a really cool idea. Yeah, I see some cans and some batteries, it looks like.
Yep, there's batteries, yeah, aluminum, and I put some bird feathers in there, some dirt, just kind of whatever I had around.
Wow. Well, it's a really cool piece. You should be really proud of it. Now, what's one of your favorite pieces that you've done?
This year, first semester, one of my first illustration projects actually ended up being one of my favorite things that I've done. I've always really liked like abandoned structures and industrial parks and like rust and things like that. And one of our first projects, our professor hoarded us on the metro and took us down to this area in St. Louis called Laclede's Landing, which is right by the river. It's very urban, and he told us to kind of encapsulate the experience of a particular area of that space in 5 illustrations. And there was an industrial park right down by the river. And so I chose that, and I basically got to draw a lot of the things that I love to draw. And I got to combine photography and drawing, which was really cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept. Did you take that photograph on your own, or was that, it looks like it might be an older photograph?
I took all the photographs on my own and I edited them in Photoshop.
Okay, so then you changed, kind of gave it that sort of color or hue to make it maybe look a little older?
Yeah.
Is there any sort of common theme that you try and incorporate in all of your pieces?
I can't say there is right now because we still do have like schedules and assignments, and each assignment kind of has a different theme, a different way of thinking that it requires. So I can't say that my work as a whole has an overarching theme, but I'm sure once I get out into the real world and kind of find my niche, then it'll probably develop more similarities.
Yeah, definitely. Now, do you have an artist that you admire, or someone's work that you hope to be like someday?
Yeah, actually, there was a speaker, an illustrator whose name is Adele Rodriguez, and he recently came to lecture here, and then he visited one of our studio classes to talk to us, and I was very, very inspired by him. He's from Cuba, and he does a lot of illustrations for Time Magazine, Newsweek Magazine. He started illustrating his own books, and he uses really unconventional methods to create his illustrations, and it creates really unique results.
That's really awesome. Now, what if you had to say your dream job, what would that be?
Easy. I want to illustrate album covers. I love music, and it's always very inspiring when I'm drawing, and I just think it would be really cool, especially if I got to meet some of the bands.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Do you have an interest in, do you play any instruments?
No, I do not. I did play the saxophone for a few months in 4th grade, but didn't really work out.
Well, album covers are definitely some of the coolest pieces of artwork that I've seen too. So that sounds really great. That's all we have time for, but thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And good luck with everything. And right now we're going to get back to the show. So for Alix Marson, I'm Lauren, and we'll come back with more Wicked Teen.